Patrick Stewart is the British actor. You know, he's got very distinctive looking, very hawkish face, bald head. He was in Star Trek. He was in X-Men, X-Files. Thank you, X-Men. Obviously, I'm not culturally that aware, but he was in X-Men, and he grew up in a home where he often had to stand between his alcoholic, abusive father and protect his mother. It influenced him as a child. He grew up with a lot of anger and hate towards his dad. But when in 2007, he started digging around a little bit into his dad's past. His dad was named Alfred. And he read some stories about Alfred, how Alfred had come back from World War II in 1940, how he had been stranded behind the lines in German-occupied France. He'd been left there for a month, him and his unit. Many of them didn't survive. He barely made it back. And the paper said he was severely shell-shocked. Now, we don't use the word shell-shock today. We use the word PTSD. And so he came back, had a bad case of PTSD, and yet he overcame that and went back in as a paratrooper in 1944 and landed on D-Day, landed behind the German lines in occupied France and helped France get liberated. When Patrick Stewart said he read that about his father, he said he had no idea that his father had ever had those kind of experiences. And he began to talk to different people who understood and were doctors and understood PTSD. He said, my dad was depressed. They said, yeah. They said, my dad was alcoholic. They said, yeah. He said, his example, he was classic PTSD. And Patrick Stewart said, when I began to understand what my dad had gone through, he said, the hate and the anger began to melt away. When he understood, he wasn't so angry. I said, well, Alan, why is that important to me? Because if you understand that Jesus is not some far-off, mystical, way out there Jesus, that he was someone who sweat, who got tired, who ate, who had feelings, who understand, then you understand that he understands us. And when we miss it, and we all do, thank God we don't have to go to a Jesus who's standing there with a scowling look on his face. And this which makes verse 16 of that same passage, let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need. If you've got a Jesus you can relate to, then he's not angry, and when you need help or when you missed it, you can come to someone who's not turning you away, who's not disgusted with your weaknesses, who's someone who understands and says, come on, get the mercy, get the grace, get the help that you need. We've got a Jesus we can relate to.